Green pen. లేదు మేడం. లేదు మేడం.
ఫోటో రాలేదండి వాళ్ళు పెట్టా మరి వీడియో ఆన్ చేయలే
సరే
ఆన్ చేస్తే
ఉండాలి, ఎక్కడో పెట్టేసి వచ్చాను.
Dear participants, respected participants, kindly mute your devices. The host is ready. The program will start within few minutes. Please bear with us. Dear వచ్చిందన్నమాట
బటన్స్ లేవా నాకేం తెలుసు
Dear participants, the program will start within a few minutes. Please bear with us. Dear participants, our program will start within a few minutes. Please bear with us.
సుధీర్ సార్ రెడీగా ఉన్నారు సార్.
Respected participants, we are waiting for the host. Within few minutes, we will start this session. Dear participants, please bear with us. We will start the session within a few minutes. Welcome, dear participants. A warm welcome to one and all. Welcome to the afternoon session of 5-day FDP program, which is in collaboration with the Commission of Corporate Education, Andhra Pradesh, Vijayawada. Actually, the program starts by our Honorable GD Sir, Dr. But due to some urgent meeting, the second session starts now. Later on, we are expecting himself. So JD sir will come on second session, sir. Now, my friend from Physics Department, Dr. S. Subbarao sir, will introduce the resource person, Dr. S. Babu Rajendra Prasad Garu, who is from P.B. Siddharth Arts and Science College, Vijayawada, a well-known resource person, an excellent speaker, who bagged several issues with him. It's a very nice man. Now, I request Dr. S. Subbarao sir to introduce our speaker, Dr. S. Babu Rajendra Prasad Garu. Now, I request Subbarao sir, please unmute your device and introduce sir.
Thank you, sir. First of all, I thankful to Dr. M.S. Sudhir sir, convener of this program, FDP program, and also I thankful to our management of N.College. So this is a privilege to introduce our Dr. S. Babu Rajendra Prasad sir. Sir, Dr. S. Babu Rajendra Prasad is IQAC coordinator of P.B. Siddhartha College of Arts and Science, Vijayawada, since 2013. He is an associate professor in Department of Business Administration and working from 1998. He also looks after Naac, NIRF, and ranking work of the college. He was a mechanical engineering graduate and later he completed MBA from IGNO. He was completed MPhil from Madurai Kamraj University. He was awarded with the Doctor of Philosophy by Acharya Nagarjuna University in Management Discipline in 2013 for the thesis titled Foreign Direct Investment in India and Impact on Trade and Development. In 2019, he completed 16-week AICT online refresher course in management and 16-week ARPIT online refresher course on financial markets and emerging business models. He has a total experience of 39 years, out of which he completed 24 years of PG teaching in the Department of Commerce and Business Administration. He rendered service for 15 years to Andhra Pradesh Heavy Machinery and Engineering Limited, Kondapalli, and left as deputy manager. His area of specialization includes investment management, financial derivatives, international business, and operations management. He was approved research guide of Krishna University. He organized many FDPs, seminars, webinars, workshops, and guest lectures. He published 16 papers in reputed national and international journals or books. He authored 17 lessons in for MBA and MCOM courses of Pondicherry and Acharya Nagarjuna Universities. He participated and presented several papers in international and national seminars organized by various colleges and universities. He completed online certificate courses on financial markets and portfolio and risk management from Yale University and ISP respectively through Coursera. He was trained in faculty development programs organized by IIM Kozhikode, Central University, Hyderabad, and others. Under his leadership as IQAC coordinator, the P.B. Siddhartha College accredited at A+ grade in 2019 and a new format of NAC. So thank you, sir. Thank you, Sudhir, sir, for giving this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. S. Subbarao sir. With a brief introduction, now I request Dr. Babu, S. Babu Rajendra Prasad Garu to deliver his resource talk, sir.
So good afternoon. So thank you for your kind introduction of mine by Subbarao Garu, and I also very much thankful to Mr. Sudhir Garu, who actually invited me to this particular event, 5-day faculty development program on institutional initiatives for effective assessment and accreditation in the context of NEP 2020. I'm very thankful to the patrons of N.College and also Mr. Vijay Koganti Garu, who actually inviting for this type of lectures. In this particular case, I also extend my thanks to Tripola Bhaskar Garu, Commissionerate of Collegiate Education, Commissioner of Collegiate Education, for extending his support to this particular college for conducting this particular 5-day interdisciplinary online faculty development program. So this particular program actually enables faculty members who are actually afraid of NAC or the areas where there is a weakness is there or there is a deficiency that or misunderstanding about that particular deficiencies will be cleared through this particular type of activities. Yesterday, I also heard the topics delivered by Mrs. Sarda Madam and also Emmanuel. So they actually delivered a detailed presentation of NAC assessment process and also has given a very good tips to the faculty members who attended this particular program regarding the NAC accreditation and assessment process. In this particular case, actually, the repeat of the same thing may be repeat of the same syllabus, just like that. The same concepts may be repeated. As I found that there may be some deviation should be there. And that is why I would like to focus on a particular department, how it has to work. And because what happens is, actually face is the index of mind. In the same way, the department is the index of the college. So the best departments always influence the goodwill of the college in the society. So that is why departments actually to be excelled in this particular NAC assessment and accreditation process. So that is why I have taken focus on that particular area. And that I would like to share my screen so that I will be able to.
Your PPT sharing, sir.
Sorry, I would like to share the screen. So PPT, okay. Okay, is it the audio short?
Yes, sir. It is audible, sir. And
Visible,
PPT
visible.
also seeing.
Okay,
Seen,
that's
sir.
okay.
But sir, please make it full screen.
Yes, sir. Sure. So role of departments in NAC assessment and accreditation process. That is okay.
It's fine, sir. Now, fine. Fine, sir.
So the contents are like this: the present education scenario, and a little bit level about the NAC 2020, NEP 2020 policies, and the recent changes in the accreditation manual. Actually, there is time to time the accreditation process is changing, the assessment and accreditation process by NAC. So what are the changes happened in this particular process? And then just I would like to focus on the education process in institutions, briefly discussing regarding inputs and teaching learning process and outputs. And then the last part is criterion-wise documentation, how to get the information from the department, and how to tap the information, how to prepare the information. These are the areas actually I have chosen to discuss in this particular FD. So the present scenario of education actually across the world. So as per the UNESCO, what exactly it has observed. So how many people are actually access to higher education? So about 235 million students were enrolled in higher education in the world in 2020. And it was more than doubled compared to the 2000, where the number of students admitted is only 100 million. So that means 2.35 times in 20 years. That means higher education has been becoming popular and accessible to the society. And the gross enrollment ratio also reached to 40% globally in 2020, whereas we are still at 27.4 in India, but very poor in sub-Saharan area, Africa, particularly it is 9%. The number of HEIs, that means higher education institutions. So as per the data set collected from 55 countries, the number has been increased by 52% between 2006 to 2018. So in this period, India actually added 22,000 additional HEAs as reported in that particular UNESCO report, but the size may be varied. The next one is regarding the gross enrollment ratio, which I would like to change. So the gross enrollment ratio with reference with GER of 87% and 81%. So this gross enrollment ratio, actually we have observed that there is a large increase in the number, but percentage wise it is 40%. But 87% of the people from Central and Eastern Europe has been doing this higher education, whereas 81% from North America and Western European countries. The concept here is what we can observe here is actually this Central and Eastern Europe has been crossed this particular area highest level of North America and Western Europe. So that is now they are the global leaders in this particular higher education. So the largest expansion took place in South and West Asia and the East and Pacific, where the number of students grew up by 200% and 280% respectively. That means the number of students are being increased in South and West Asia by 200% and East Asia and Pacific by 280%. That means Asia is picking up in this particular area where the higher education, access to higher education is being increased. The other important point is that is the foreign students or territory, international mobile students. When you are crossing the territory, how many students are actually crossing? That the 6 million people are being crossing in 2019 for higher education to the other countries. So that accounts to 3%, around 3% of the total number of students in higher education. And here also, there one other information it is regarding this. The China is the largest country which is sending the students to other countries by more than 1 million, and followed by India 462,000 and so on. The small countries like Vietnam also, the number of students moving to other countries are also a good number is there, even though it is a small country, 126,000 in 2019, followed by Germany and France. Then another important point is gender equality. So how many girl students and how many boy students? Here also there is some increase, very good increase is there in case of women is concerned. The gross enrollment rate of women in higher education. Women in higher education increased from 19% in 2000 to 43% in 2020. A very beautiful increase in the number of students who women students are accessing higher education. Whereas men rose more slowly compared to the women, that is 19% to 37%. Then the gender parity index across the globe is 113 women are enrolled compared to the 100 men in 2020. And women remain underrepresented in some STEM areas like science, technology, engineering, and medicine. And in case of number of researchers, only 30% of the women are in the research field worldwide. The other important area observations related to the other important areas of flexible learning pathways. So now our NEP is focusing on that particular area. So that means flexible learning pathways means when student can feel he wants to go out from the college after completion of 1 year or 2 year, he can go out and then do his responsibility and then come back to the colleges. So that is the concept re-entry, entry and re-entry. Entry, exit, and re-entry. That is what is called. Ultimately, the concerned person can study further. So in this particular case, out of the 75 countries, 55 countries established a national policy on flexible learning pathways, while 45 have the relevant regulations and legislation. That means the 45 countries actually created the regulation and legislation how to create this particular facility to the students. So then in the previous case, we had discussed regarding the international students movement. That means more than 6 million people are moving. So but to which place these people are moving? So that is actually the number of international mobile students tripled from 2000 to 2019. That is 2 million to 6 million. That is one particular part. Then who is actually where these people are going? Actually, 49% of the people going to North America and Western Europe, like USA, Canada, and Germany, France, and Great Britain. These countries, most of the 49% of the movement of the students, whether they are coming from other European countries or from the Asian countries or African countries or South American countries, 49% are moving to that particular areas. As for the statistics are concerned to 2019, where only 13% of their students moving to the other countries. So that region.
Sir, sorry for the interruption, sir. Sir, మీ వాయిస్ వినపట్లేదు సార్.
Hello.
ఓకే సార్, ఓకే వస్తుంది.
Okay. In 2018, on an average 48 countries, around 12% of the higher education students received government direct student financial aid in the form of a loan or around 20% in the form of a grant. So this is observation from UNESCO. Then the other important related to our subject is quality assurance. So quality assurance and quality assurance of national qualification frameworks. So there are two important areas. So almost all every country has more than one national or multiple regional or professional subject specific quality assurance bodies. Like NAC we are having. So every country will have one particular body or more than that, like NIRF and etc. So to assess the quality assurance, quality of aspects of an institution. So that is, there are 345 bodies across the globe. They're studying the quality of the institutions. So that is one particular part. Then the second aspect is regarding the qualification framework. So that means one country I am studying in one particular country, I want to shift to another particular country. Whether that degree is valid or not, whether this can be acceptable or not, or how many credits we have to give to this particular program or course that he has completed. For that purpose also, these countries are working on it, and finally they are going to follow this national qualification framework. Then the other important part is R&D expenditure on education. So it indirectly affects the education scenario. So as you all aware of that, North America and Western Europe, as well as East Asia and Pacific spend highest percentage of GDP on R&D. So that means 2.5% in case of North America and Western Europe. Whereas in East Asia and Pacific also, that means the Japan and other countries, East Asia and Pacific Rim countries, what we call it as. Even China will come and Singapore will come and majority of these countries will come. Southeast Asia. So they are also spending a good amount of money, that is called 2.11%. Korea also comes to that area. So there are people are spending most money in the R&D as a part of as a percentage of GDP. Their percentage of investment is very high compared to many other countries. So global investment in R&D continues to grow with the increase in proportion of global GDP invested in R&D rising from 1.61% to 1.73% in 2018 as the global level is concerned. The last one, a very important point is number of researchers per million inhabitants has increased from 1022 in 2010 to 1235. So for 1 million people, how many researchers are coming? So that is, the number is very low, but it is increased gradually. So whereas in case of the Indian market, Indian information is concerned, that is already, every year we are submitting the report of our college to All India Survey on higher education. So they are giving their information at their dashboards. As per the 2020 report, this is the information. So number of universities is 1,113. Number of students 4.14 crores. The standalone institutions and the number of colleges, number is here. And the bottom part is very important. The gross enrollment ratio is 27.3. And the gender parity index, whereas we are having 105 girl students instead of for 100 boy students, whereas in case of global level, it is 113 versus 100. And the student people, the teacher index, I think, maybe 24. These are some universities across the country. Of course, this is the latest figures in the dashboard. 1195 universities are there. And the total number of colleges are 49,000 as per the latest dashboard is concerned. Out of that, 45,000 are affiliated colleges. And then the other one is standalone colleges are around 12,497. What is this standalone colleges? Means single major. They are having no other departments, only one department, one area they are going to focus on it. So it may be a pharma, or it may be medicine, or it may be, it may be nursing, or it may be teacher training, to certain extent polytechnics, hotel management. That means a single major, their single specialization will be there. They're going to give the training to the students. Then the another important part is regarding this world institutional ranking. So how many institutions are already ranked within 100, within 100 to 101 to 200 and 201 to 500. So why you are going to, where we are actually, where India is there. For that purpose, I am interested to show this particular information. So United States, actually, that is what we are always aware of, that 56 institutions out of 100, the top 100 list, where India doesn't have any one. As per this particular metric is concerned, webometric.info. So India has received information from 5,280 institutions. Out of that, between 501 to 1,000, it is 13 institutions, and 1,001 to 5,000, it is 264 institutions. That means where our standard has to be improved and world-class institutions has to be emerged over a period of time with the support of the NEP. So that is National Education Policy 2020. This is a simple point, or many of you are, all of us aware of it, certificate course of 1 year, diploma and bachelor's degree and so on. So multidisciplinary bachelor degree after the 4 years, and multiple entry and exit points, as you are already aware of. And then academic bank of grade that is going to be introduced. Then what are the division of the universities? Intensive universities, teaching intensive universities, and autonomous degree granting colleges. So in majority of our colleges in future, because of our majority of the colleges are getting A grade, A plus grade, and so then we can apply for autonomous, and then we are able to come into this particular category. So primarily focused on degree, and later on focusing on the research.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir.
Okay.
Sir, your screen is not sharing, sir. It was only slide 8 is scrolling. Now it's okay. Now internalization slide is showing, sir.
Is it okay?
Now fine, sir. Now the slide is 16 slide, sir.
Okay, it's okay.
Sure. Sure, sir.
What is happening? I don't know exactly. Okay. So the internationalization, actually it is internalization in the sense internationalization. That means the quality institutions has to be, when we go outside, we call it as internationalization. But when we are going to get the foreign universities into our country, where we are going to bring the highest standards into our country, that is the concept here, internalization of education in the sense. That means we want to attract the foreign students, but we require the quality institutions which has to come from abroad. So that is why the top 100 universities in the world will be facilitated to operate in India. That means we are encouraging foreign investment, investment and for establishing their own universities in India. That is the policy behind it. So that the quality of education improves, the competition in the education will improve. Ultimately, the goal what we are expecting is going to be improved, is going to be reached. This is another important point regarding this. This is the institutional development fund. As per the NEP policy, each institution will integrate its academic plans ranging from curricular improvement to quality of classroom transaction into a larger institutional development plan. So institutional development plan, actually when we are submitting our Naac document SSR, we are going to give our strategic plan of 5 years or 7 years, 7 years or whatever it may be. As per the strategic plan, we are going to develop ourselves, we are going to plan ourselves and develop ourselves. So in the same way, the name has been coined as the institutional development plan, and that has to be created. Every organization should develop a institutional development plan, draft an institutional development plan, so that they are going to focus on that particular plan. They have to create programs, they have to deliver the process as per the requirement of the students. The other one is other important point is IDP, criterion based grading system. That means we are going to assess the students on his merits, not based on comparative model. So that is another important point that we have to focus on. So in this particular case, I would like to touch the portal of Utsaha. So I would like to share this portal. I think it is able, I hope so. So there is one important point I would like to share here. There are 10 trust areas are there where the University Grant Commission has been fixed. So there is the regulations and guidelines are here related to each trust area. So that means if the institution wants to know what is going on through the UGC and what are the guidelines related to different aspects, we can go and study this particular guidelines which are issued by the UGC on a continuous basis. It's just only I'm going to share the information. I'm not going to go in detail regarding this. There is a workshop has been conducted by our APSHI Vice Chairman, Professor Rammohan Rao Garu, on this Utsaha portal and as well as POP portal, Professor of Practice portal. So what we have to do is we have to register with this particular Utsaha portal, and then later on we have to submit the data for each year according to the formats given by that particular portal. So that is why we should have some idea regarding this. That is why there are certain guidelines issued in each year, and every year guidelines are being, if you open it, you are going to get guidelines for incorporating Indian knowledge in higher education. A circular is being issued. So you can refer this particular website whenever you require any guidelines or related information, we can access it. So that portal also we have to register our institution, and then later on we have to submit the information every year as per the requirement. Then I hope this is shared. The next one is there are some digital initiatives undertaken by the higher education. A majority of you are aware of it. In the future, it is going to be a digital world, and digital education becomes much accessible compared to any other type of education or a conventional education. So what are the initiatives taken in the higher education department under the UGC? So some initiatives I would like to just refer it. The use of digital tools is preferred by academicians because of the following factors: affordability, inclusiveness, employability, and quality. So affordability is the cost effective, and everybody can access it, and the quality of the programs is good, then it is employable, and etc. So that is the main focus areas. That is why they have developed this digital initiative. So access the education to everyone, so irrespective of caste, creed, and everything. So even poor students are also able to access education. So I think there is a Swayam portal. You can get the online courses to low cost. There are some 9 course coordinators are there, and NPTEL, AICTE, UGC, and many other institutions. Today we are having 2,150 Swayam courses are there. Every student can go for one of the relevant course and complete it. There we can claim in the criteria 1 actually. So that is why I'm going to touch this particular part. So National Academy of Academic Depository, that is regarding this ABC, Academic Bank of Credits, National Digital Library. Many of you are having enrollment in the digital library. And one more important focus, I would like to focus on it, open distance learning, just in the same concept. There is the same information I would like to pass on to you, why this is more accessible and more interested. So there is a generation after generation, there is a change in the education system. Effectiveness is being improved because of online distance education. So multimedia model, correspondence model, and learning model. And later on, now we are having this flexible learning models and intelligent flexible learning models. So the media is now World Wide Web, and we can also have the automated response systems for the questions that we are going to have. That is why education becomes more flexible, interactive, responsible, and accessible. So that is the focus area where ODL is going to be.
Excellent, sir.
Yes.
Excellent, sir. Sir, the slides are not moving, sir. It was stopped at the 17th slide, sir. The slide is at the IDP slide, sir.
Yes.
That is 17th slide.
Yes, sir. Now,
now it is showing 17 slides, sir. And now it is open distance learning, ODL, generation and medium.
is it okay?
Yes, sir. But it is not moving, sir. There is a maybe problem.
Otherwise, I will go back to the sir without slideshow.
No issue, sir. Now it is okay. As
So
you wish, sir.
somewhere it is missing.
Sir.
Now I am going to discuss regarding the NAC present accreditation process. That means how many institutions has been actually. The number is not visible. The total number is. So these are the colleges which have been completed around 15,000 colleges has been passed through this first or second or third cycle. Only 295 colleges has been completed fourth cycle. And universities, 32 universities have been completed. Around 900 universities only has been went to this NAC accreditation. The new universities out of the around 1,200 universities, only 900 universities so far accredited by the NAC. Out of the total institutions, around 16,000 institutions have been accredited, either universities or colleges. The next part I would like to discuss regarding the change in the assessment and procedures actually. Is it visible, sir? May not be visible. I would like to read out whatever the points I have.
Yes, sir. It's now okay, sir. It's okay. It's okay, sir.
Because as we are aware of that, in 2019, 18-19, actually the NAC came with a new concept called 30-70 assessment process. So 30 qualitative metrics and 70% quantitative metrics, where we have submitted the data for around 1 to 135 data parameters. So a large data has been submitted because if our college is a bigger college, variety of data has to be submitted, and large volumes of data we have submitted at that particular point of time to get the A+ grade. Now there is some over a period of time there may be some repetitive of information, and NAC has been taken care to reduce the repetitiveness and then focusing on less number of parameters. So in this particular case, just I would like to discuss regarding the latest changes that have been came into the picture. What are the changes we have noticed? Some of the points, all points will not be there. All parameters will not be there, but this is related to the autonomous colleges. What are the parameters we have to, what are the changes happened in the latest NAC manual? So one of the point is, the programs offered by the institutions focus on employability, entrepreneurship, skill development, and their course syllabus are adequately revised to incorporate contemporary requirements. So actually it is a quantitative metric in the previous time, quantitative metric at the previous time. Now it is become a qualitative metric. So that means why I'm going to focus on why departments is very important, because tomorrow the NAC team will come to our college and ask the faculty member who is teaching a particular subject where we have claimed as a employability course or entrepreneurship course. So the concerned faculty has to substantiate why it is an employability course or why it is an entrepreneurship course or why it is a skill development course. So that means the faculty actually has to be able to understand the concept, and he is going to, that particularly what we are going to submit here is the content of the syllabus or any activities that we are going to undertake with that particular syllabus. So we have to inform to that particular, support that particular employability or entrepreneurship. And it is a qualitative metric. Earlier it is quantitative metric. That is why we have to focus, departments and the staff has to focus on that particular area. So that is accounts for 30 marks. Then earlier there is no specific concept called new courses. There is no marks for specifically for new courses. Actually, they are going to focus on whether this is choice-based grade system is there or not, something like that. They are going to ask. But now the change is happened. How many percentage of new courses introduced out of the total number of courses across all programs offered during the last 5 years? So that means, as per the metrics is concerned, actually they have also given the benchmark. So at least 20% of the new courses should be there in the last 5 years. So that is also quantitative metrics. We have the information regarding this particular area. This was not there earlier, actually. The other important point is regarding the value-added programs or skill-oriented programs. Earlier it is mentioned like that. Regarding 1.3.2, the number of certificate and value-added courses, diploma courses offered by the institution, and online courses of MOOCs, Swayam, EPG, Pathshala, NPTEL, etc., where the students of the institution have enrolled and successfully completed during the last 5 years. So that means these are the new area that has been given permission to submit our certificates to this particular NAC assessment. That means MOOCs, Swayam, EPG, Pathshala, etc. So even you can also the courses completed through Coursera and many other which may be accepted by the NAC. So that is why our students has to be given this particular, either we have to give our own certificate by providing a certificate course or a value-added course, or we can submit the information related to the students who have completed these particular online courses on online platforms. That is another change we have I have noticed in this particular area. Then percentage of programs that have components of field projects, research projects, and the internships. So this is a simple one, because today all programs are having this field projects as well as internships. So every program is definitely our students are going for a field project. It may be a service project, or it may be or any other subject project, whatever it may be, the second or third semester. So our particularly institutions of Andhra Pradesh are going to get full marks here. Next one is for the change in the structured feedback is concerned. The feedback on the curriculum and its transaction is regularly obtained from the stakeholders like students, teachers, employees, alumni, academic peers. So in case of the affiliated colleges are concerned, they have to take from at least 2 stakeholders, where we have to take from at least four stakeholders. And then whatever the feedback we have collected, it have to be analyzed, and then it has to be communicated to the relevant bodies. That is another new point which was added here. Actually, what we are going to do is, so we have to take the action and it will be placed on the website. But he added a new point called communicated to the relevant bodies. That means it has to be discussed in IQSC meeting or somewhere else, or board of studies meeting. So that means we have to collect, as I suggested, the feedback has to be collected on a program based. not on the college, all program based. That is what I'm going to suggest here. That is, if it is, we are able to do in that particular angle, it is more authenticated. So program wise feedback has to be collected, and then any suggestions, any actions has been taken in that particular program, any new course added or a new syllabus has been changed, and that has to be communicated in the Board of Studies or Academic Council, and then later it has to be published in the website. Action taken. So that is the change actually I have noticed here. He also added academic peers also. Not only limited to earlier, it is only limited to the students, teachers, and employers and alumni. Now they have added the academic peers to collect the opinion of the academic peers. So the next part is regarding the teaching learning process. There is one important point we can notice here, mentor-mentee is already there to address the academic weaknesses or to enhance to support the concerned student. But also he added some student psychological issues. So that means it has to be recorded, any psychological issue is there related to any particular student. It has to be recorded properly and has to be presented in future. It is a qualitative metric. Earlier it is only quantitative metric, now it is a qualitative metric. That is why this mentor-mentee system is also going to be studied properly by the Naac peer team while coming to that particular institution. Then, of course, preparation of and adherence to the academic calendars and teaching plans. This particular part is in criteria 1 of the affiliated colleges. It's a qualitative metric. So teaching plan of each subject has to be collected in advance and later completion also. That is, the teaching diaries may be the probable answer for it. Then 2.5.1, the average number of days from the date of last semester and year-end examination till the last date of declaration of results of the last 5 years. So here the very important point is not only results, of course, it is 30 days, depends upon that. Before 20 days, I think you are going to get a better mark, better rank, better grade. But now that re-evaluation is also, when you apply, any student is going to be applied for re-evaluation or retotaling of the course. It has to be considered as a grievance, valuation grievance. That is going to be submitted now. Earlier it is not there. So it is a quantitative metric and we have to give that particular information. Then institution has stated learning outcomes. This is also a qualitative metric. This is, it has to be published in the website and so on. Attainment process has to be completed. So depends upon the institution how they are going to do this attainment process. The peer team will study it. Then regarding the research and innovation and extension, the third criteria, outcome of the extension activities in the neighborhood community in terms of impact and sensitizing the students to the social issues and holistic development, and awards received, if any, during the last 5 years. So one safe side is earlier the awards are going to get a quantitative metric, whatever the award we are going to receive from this particular outstanding activity. But some of the awards we have received are appreciation letters, etc., that are not being accepted by NAAC earlier. Now it is a qualitative metric. That is one particular point. The second important point is the total number of even extension or outreach programs or extension activities. The total amount of points is 50. 30 plus 20. 20 is quantitative metric, the number. But the qualitative metric, the impact factor, we have to focus on it. What is the impact out of that? That means whatever the program we have conducted, we have to, not only we have to write the outcome, but also what is the impact ultimately we have achieved out of this particular extension activity. So impact factor has to be observed. What is the impact of this particular social activity? So extension activity. So that is a new point in terms of impact that was has to be understood properly. So that is one particular point I have noticed the change. Then infrastructure and learning. Of course, these are the facilities generally we are going to submit. It becomes, even though it is a qualitative metrics, he mentioned what is the ABC in detail, what he expected from the institution. So it is a teaching learning, classrooms, laboratories, computing equipment on site, ICT enabled smart classrooms and LMS. So learning management system, that is another important point you should have in your in your college. And the last one is regarding the cultural and sports facilities, yoga center and games. So if you are having these facilities, automatically we can easily satisfy the peer. Next one is regarding the audio visual center. Bandwidth, of course, it is okay. Library, of course, if you are happy. Then the institution has dedicated an audio visual center, 4.3.3. Mixing equipment, editing facilities, media studio, lecture capturing system, related hardware and software for e-content development. Earlier, actually, we are going to submit this information. We are having a videography, we are having video, that means video. The camera, video camera, and etc. And then we are having the with video camera, we are going to capture the lectures, and then later we are going to provide the information related to mix equipment, etc. But what today, that was a quantitative metric earlier, now it becomes a qualitative metric. So that means they are going to study the performance of this facility. So that is the change, quantitative to qualitative. So that is another important point I have observed in this particular area. Then 5.1.1, this is student progression. This earlier it is separated students progression, student scholarships. Government is separate and non-government is separate. Now they have combined together. At least 60% or more that you have to have scholarships to the students. That is the quantity they are expecting. That is the quantitative metrics. Either government or non-government, ultimately the total number and percentage of students who receive this scholarships, that has to be measured. It is a quantitative metric. Then earlier it is a career counseling. It is a qualitative metric. Now it becomes quantitative metric. Now it becomes a qualitative metric. Efforts taken by the institution to provide career counseling, including e-counseling and guidance for competitive exams during the last 5 years. So earlier we are going to submit the information regarding we have given analytical skills or reasoning skills to the students for going into the placements. But now this is a qualitative metric, it becomes a qualitative. Then percentage of placements of outgoing students and student progression, which is combined together. Ultimately, how many students has been either got placement or went to other higher studies, that will be measured here as a quantitative. Then 5.3.1, number of awards and medals for outstanding performance in sports cultural activities at the intercollegiate, state, national and international events. When we have submitted the information that intercollegiate medals are not considered, only national and international medals only considered at that particular point of time. Now they have allowed intercollegiate medals also to submit the data. That is one change I have noticed. Then this is very important point actually. Even though it is only 5 marks, quantitative metric. The institution conducts and organizes the following activities: sports competitions, events, cultural competitions and events, technical fest or academic fest, and any other events through active clubs and forms. If you are able to have this, generally sports competitions will be conducted, cultural competitions will be conducted in the college. And student meets are going to be conducted as an academic fest. And in the college, you may have the clubs, because we are going to create clubs for different activities. And if they are going to do certain activities, you are going to get the full marks. So that means earlier it is not specific, only it is sports and cultural. But it is now the academic fest or academic activities are also came into this particular slide or into this particular parameter. Then 6.3.1, the institution has performance appraisal system, effective welfare measures.
Sir, PPT is not sharing, sir.
It was came out.
Okay, okay, sir. Oh, fine, sir, fine. Sir.
And, regarding the governance is concerned, the institution has performance appraisal system, effective welfare measures for teaching, non-teaching staff, and avenues for career development and progression. So it is a qualitative metric. So generally, performance appraisal system, generally they are not going to ask earlier, but we have to give information regarding how the performance appraisal is going on in the college in advance. So that the other things we are going to give in general, welfare measures, earlier also it is there. The performance appraisal system and avenues for career development and progression, these two areas we have to give information how we are going to provide these facilities or this system. And then when they come and the qualitative, then the peer team visits, we have to submit, we have to showcase that particular career advancement and as well as the performance appraisal system. That is a qualitative metric. Then performance of teachers provided financial support to attend conferences and workshops towards membership fees. It is a previous one, previous earlier also it is there, but what we have to observe here is the number of marks increasing because the parameters are coming down. The marks weightage is increasing for a period. That is another important point. You are going to have 15 marks for this particular area. That is capacity improvement of the faculty. And the last point, I think in the 7 point, institutional values and practice, best practices. In 7.1.1, they are asking, it was not here, they are also asking gender audit. They are also asking gender audit. Generally, we are going to discuss regarding the gender empowerment, this women empowerment programs and etc. What are the activities we have undertaken and for the benefit of the women or women students or faculty, whatever it may be. But then now they are asking for the gender audit, the latest manual. That is also we have to notice it. There is earlier it is a quantitative metric, that is the very management of degradable and non-degradable waste. We are going to show some figures and etc. But it is not like that. It is a qualitative metric. It is now. Then green capacity initiatives, also qualitative metric. And differently abled persons, the benefit, the facilities that we are going to provide to differently abled persons, it is a quantitative metric earlier, now it is qualitative metric. And the other important is institutional efforts and initiatives in providing an inclusive environment. This is also becomes a qualitative metric right now. Then the sensitization of students, employees of the institution to the constitution, it is also become a qualitative metric. So earlier it is not like that. Now it is all qualitative metrics. That means in 7th criteria, particularly in 7.1, we have to focus on it and we have to showcase our these aspects, whatever it may be. So that is why it was mentioned here. The other things like two best practices, one distinctiveness, that has to be same. And I made a table for quality earlier. What is earlier and what is now. So there's a consolidated table is here, parameter wise. I will show you in the next slide. Sir, is it visible? Sir,
Yes, sir, but not sliding, sir. Now it is showing criterion QLM for affiliated colleges, sir. For affiliated colleges.
yeah, this is one actually. Okay. This is already yesterday in the previous class, previous presentation that is Emmanuel sir has given. The qualitative metrics for affiliated colleges has been increased to 379 and the quantitative metrics are 621. The number also has been reduced. Now I think it is visible, I hope so. For autonomous colleges, there is a lot of changes happened compared to the previous. When we have submitted our data for autonomous college, it is exactly 300 qualitative metric and 700 quantitative metric. Later they have revised it to 322 and 678. Now the qualitative metrics part is 442 and the quantitative metric is only 558. That means the autonomous colleges are made more probed by the peer team. Actually, we have to showcase everything to them. That is a very important point we have to observe here. So these are admissions going on. Just I would like to brief what I am going to show you the last part. I think this slide is visible, I hope so. Educational system. Yes, sir. So there are inputs on teaching learning process and outputs. The institutional development plan, as we discussed earlier, the input is a strategic plan. In line with the strategic plan, we are going to develop our programs and curriculum according to the strategic plan, as well as to meet the vision and mission of the college. We are having a structured curriculum. Then we are having an academic plan for 90 days of teaching. And then quality faculty, these are the inputs we are having, and physical infrastructure, and an LMS, if it is possible in the colleges, going to adopt. Otherwise, you can adopt the Google Classrooms. So these are the general inputs. One of the important point I would like to discuss here is the programs and the curriculum. So how a new program is being designed. So unless you are going to have a new programs, we may not have new courses generally. So that is why the new programs are actually which is going to meet the new needs of the society. So that is why new programs are being offered by the institutions. So for that purpose, you have to study a lot before introducing any new program to the society or to the students. So new courses, these are the parts already we have discussed. So one of the important point I would like to highlight here is online programs, not only the programs which are offered to other media, but also the institution has to develop the ability to offer online programs, online services, online courses to the students. So that the pressure on the college will be very high as on today, because there is a lot of competition coming in the Western world, and the new private parties are offering different types of courses like N.College and so on. Because unless we develop ourselves to offer online courses and online programs in future, it is the survival of the college is also becomes very difficult. So that is another important point I would like to discuss on it. So the steps involved in developing a new program, that is, you have to do some marketing research, and you should have a strong case for introducing a new program, and defend your position, then build a strong faculty, and create a competitive curriculum. So that is very important. Unless you are having a competitive curriculum, the student may not opt for this particular program of your college. And once he joined, then you should have an ongoing student support for the particular student until he went out with a good laurels or good placement and etc. and update the program. These are the 7 steps that has been mentioned. Regarding to our college is concerned, we have introduced these courses in the last programs in the last 5 years. That is why I would like to share some information from our college also. So BSc Mathematics, Statistics, and Data Science, and BCom Business Process Management. It is with the help of TCS, and Business BSc CSCS, that is Computer Science with Cognitive Systems. Again, it is with the help of TCS, and then BCom BFSI, that is Banking, Financial Services, and Insurance. BSc AI and ML, Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning, and also we have MSc Computational Data Science. That is a new course introduced in 21-22. And BBA Retail Management, BSc Honors with the Data Analytics, MBA Data Analytics. Of course, we are having BBA Business Analytics. Now we are having MBA. We have got approval from this particular academic year 23-24, MBA Business Analytics. So that is actually the credit goes to our management. They have given a lot of support to us in designing the programs and starting a new programs every year. And there may be some failures or some dropouts are also there where we are not having good number of students. We have closed MA English because very few students, hardly less than single-digit students are joining. Like that MCOM also, we have very few students that was also closed. And one program we have introduced but dropped, that is called BCom e-commerce. So that is sometimes we may fail in doing certain things. These are the new subjects we have introduced because we will not get new courses. So that is why some of the new courses. Yeah. We are also following these life. All these are being extended to our students. So some BSc students, some BCom students, or whoever it may be, these type of programs are being offered as per the curriculum. Of course, I'm not going to focus on this teaching learning process because many of the resource persons have been focused on this. But when these qualitative metrics are concerned, one of the critical part is teaching learning process. How best you are going to delivering the goods to the students. How best you are going to create the experiential learning to the students. How best you are going to segregate the slow learners and advanced learners, how you are going to treating them. So that will be a critical part of this assessment that should be showcased properly. And of course, ultimately, after the inputs and the teaching learning process, I'm not going to much discuss about the teaching learning process, but what is the output you are going to get? So they are going to study, as you all aware of it. So they are going to study the pass percentage, they are going to study the placements, vertical progress, self-employment or entrepreneurship, which is going to be discussed in 3.3.1. So how incubation centers has been created and how they are going to support for self-employment or that is called startups or whatever. So that is a 3.3.1. It will support it. Merit and education and government exams. So that means those persons who are passing this NET, SLET, or it may be the international exams or government exams, particularly GRE, GMAT, and so on. Those are going to be studied here. Merit in sports, 5.3.3, just we have discussed. Merit in literary and cultural activities, it is also being mentioned there. And merit in service or extension activities, that is going to be considered in section 3.5. And the research contribution to the students, it may be mentioned in 2.2.1 as a part of the advanced learners, how they are being encouraged, if any research contribution coming from them. Unless we support them, the students may not come out with the flying colors. So that is research contribution. The next level of output is very important, what I'm going to discuss here. The course outcomes attainment. As already in the morning session, I think Padmja madam has been elaborately telling this particular concept, what is course outcome, what is Bloom's taxonomy, and how it is being uh, practice in the colleges and how the attainment process is going on. So anyway, course outcomes leads to program outcomes. Sorry, course outcomes and program outcomes are linked. Mapping is going to be done. Once the course attainment is being done, and program attainment automatically is going to be done. And over a period of time, after 3 years or 4 years, the student going out and how he has been settled. Based on that, we are going to attain the program educational outcomes or objectives. So that is the first part of it. If you are having a good program outcomes attainment, then it may be influencing you the success of a department mission. So every department will have a mission and vision in line with the college institution's vision and mission. So that is why the department plays an important role here. So if your program outcomes are attained, and then that is nothing but success of your department. That is the department mission. Mission means the way you are going to deliver the goods. And if you succeed in your mission, ultimately it may be leads to realizing your vision of the department. That means you want to visualize your department. This department should be the #1 department, or this department should attract talents, and then they are going to be well placed in the environment and so on. So your vision will be like that. So your vision is going to be realized when your success of mission is there. The success of mission depends upon your educational program attainment and program educational outcomes attainment. So that is there is a link between there. And if your department vision and mission is being mapped with your college vision and mission, then ultimately the college is going to be successful, and college vision is going to be realized in the future over a period of time. So that is regarding this output 2. And there is one more output 3 is there. So if the college is doing well, and then there is a positive factors also, it will come back. That is ultimately you are going to lead in increased admission. So it is going to influence the criterion 2.11 and 2.12. And of course, it will increase the goodwill, attracting talented students. So this is very important. When the college is doing well, automatically merit will come and take the first seat in the college. So that is the point what I'm going to tell here. Then enhanced industry support. And of course, you are going to attract the faculty members. When the college is doing well, automatically the worthy faculty members also want to join your college as a faculty in the department. Then enhanced industry support. So if you are going to do research, or if you are going to do some support expected from the industry, because the college is visible and noticed by many of the people, then it will be very easy to attract it. That is why you are going to get 3.7.1, that is called MOUs. So memorandum of understanding with the industry. That means for placements or internships or apprenticeship, can also raise the funds easily. That is the third outcome. What I am going to get if the college is doing that. So then finally, the documentation part. I think I'm having time or not, I don't know exactly. Of course, this is the critical part of this entire process. Every year you have to create your documentation properly, so that when the peer team visits or the quantitative matrix wants a particular document, you are able to provide that relevant document to that particular part. So for each and every activity, we are going to do seminars, we are going to do workshops, we are going to do student activities and so on, guest lectures and so on. So for each and every activity, we have to have this minimum number of some checklist I have prepared. So it should be compulsory, and that means majority of them are compulsory as a part of the checklist. So notice given to the students or a brochure is being created for that particular program, and a detailed activity report of that particular program, and a list of resource persons and brief biodata of the faculty members who are coming to that particular, addressing that particular event, and a list of participants with the signatures. That is another important point. The list of participants are missing in many of the programs. Later, the colleges are going to manage it, but it is better to take the list of participants early with signatures. That will be a good idea. So that means the activity report should contain attachments like this. Of course, today they are asking geotagged photos. Any news clippings are there, and then any feedback analysis if it is there on that particular program, and any certificate is being issued, and any video content is being developed, and any other things. Like if in case of expenditure statement is there, you can add it separately, but it can be it can be filed separately, but it should be there. So this is the minimum things that has to be with every activity. And the last part is some of the documentation procedures uh, uh, systems that I have prepared for my college. Actually, I would like to share it to you. So from the beginning, just I would like to read it. Visibility, I want to increase the visibility. So yeah, IPSC internal academic audit. Generally, we are going to have internal academic audit in our college, and we have prepared a checklist. And this was a recently improved one compared to the previous one. Majority of the points that will be covered, the department name will be there in that particular area. And the way how the department has to keep the information, whether it is a file or a book or a register, that has been mentioned here, related to each and every point, and the relevant criterion which is going to be relevant to it. So it may be board of studies. Then we are going to discuss regarding generally board of studies minutes book, syllabus copy, COPO mapping, and program structure. These are compulsory. Unless we are not having this, it is very difficult to present ourselves for each program. That is why there are different programs are there, but each program that is responsible for one particular department that we have attached to that particular department also. That is why they have to maintain this particular information. List of employability, entrepreneurship, and skill development courses, because this is the critical part nowadays. 30 marks allotted to it, as I informed to you. Qualitative metrics, a list of new courses, teaching ethics and etc. Whatever the 1.3.1 that has to be maintained separately regarding the syllabus and courses are concerned. List of value-added courses, MOOC courses that are accepted. Any value-added course or a MOOC course that are being accepted by the college, it should be recorded properly in the department minutes. Better at it. So, if you are any organized courses are there and student attendance and the pass record. The pass record is also important, or a certificate has to be delivered to that particular student, because they are going to ask certificates for every value-added course or add-on course or a certificate course. So that means certificates are very important. Course completion certificates are very important. Then regarding the feedback is concerned, that has to be collected from all the 4 students, 4 groups. That is related to 1.4.1. The departmental minutes, what are the activities they are going to do? They have to maintain an activity register as well as the departmental minutes book. That record has to be maintained by themselves. Record of activities, the activity report as per the IPSC format. We have given some formats to them, and they have fill that particular formats and submit. Then regarding this data is concerned, every department will have students. The enrollment list should be maintained by the department. How many students are actually enrolled in that particular program, first semester, second semester, third semester, so on. And their attendance registers and teaching diaries. Actually, teaching diaries will tell how the experiential learning is going to be done. So these are the simple things I think only I would like to pass on to you, because this is the critical part of the teaching learning process. Record of assignments, then they have to maintain some course file where it will have a teaching plan or a micro plan and internal evaluation record and so on. When you are going to have a project work, they are going to have the project titles and course material which is being given to the students, if any, in the PDF form or PPT or video, those files are going to be maintained separately. So record of blended teaching, use of LMS and Google Classrooms that has to be maintained separate. Today we are having mentor-mentee system in our college, and mentoring records are updated on a continuous basis. So that is common in our college. Program attainment file. This is the critical part. Actually, many departments are failing in this particular case. Some few departments are active and they're going to do this, but sometimes some departments are has to develop their system. That is one particular part. Result analysis, it has to be created in a graphical format. Then research files. Many of you know seed projects, any seed money projects are there, or research projects. If it is there, they are going to write it. Otherwise, if they are not having, they will say no for it. So activities related to the Indian knowledge system, IPRs, etc., etc. So that generally we have prepared this particular sequence as per with respect to the requirements of the NAC report, actually latest NAC report, NAC manual. So MOUs and MOUs activities related to the stock registers, laboratory logbook, video lessons. This is another important part, as I mentioned here. So even though you are having facility, how many video lessons have been developed with that particular facility? That is a question mark will come later on. So our faculty are having their own channels also, web channels, their videos are going out. But many of the departments are not focusing on it. That is why we put it specifically how many video lessons has been developed from that particular department. Placement records. Of course, we are having a placement officer that he is going to take care of it. Placement training. What type of training has been given to that particular group of students? The department head has to focus on it. They have given the proper training when it skills are carried constant, etc. as per the requirement of 5.15. So that information has to be maintained. Otherwise, there is they have to mention it. So whatever the requirement we have given, we are having that is mentioned here. Student competitions, cultural competitions. Then related to the faculty FTPs workshops, how the faculty has been attended, the record has to be maintained at the department. So as I told you, in case of this gender audit is a new concept which we have to learn it and we have to put it in a proper manner. So that means what are the factors or parameters we have to take in the gender audit? So the new part that has been given. Environment cautious events, anything. Generally, departments will not do as a college is going to do, and department will support the college initiatives. But any individual department has been doing any particular activity that has been mentioned. So the other parts are also like this. Department-wise best practice and distinctiveness of the department has to be maintained separately, so that if the departments are having best practices, that will be the best practices of our college, any college. That is why we are going to have some best practices in teaching learning process or research or any other particular area, whatever it may be in extension activities. They have to mention it in their work. This is regarding the documentation is concerned. What is the way we are going to have the documents? Then finally, I would like to close in 2 minutes. The success in NAC accreditation depends upon very important. That means a teamwork, as many of you have mentioned. A strong guidance, a good execution team, easy to success. Strong guidance with a poor execution team, whatever the reason it may be, we don't exactly may get a mixed result. Weak guidance with a good execution team, sometimes you may get poor results. A weak guidance with a weak execution team, definitely you're going to get poor results. But weak guidance plus weak execution team with strong determination in both the parties will create miracles. So that means everything we don't know, every aspect we may not have the knowledge, but we have to learn it. And what if we are having determined, and then we can do everything. So that is called determination is the key element in this particular success of NAC. Unless you are determined, you are not having any strong determination. There may be lapses will be there in the process, and also ultimately you may not show it properly, showcase your knowledge strength properly, and finally you may be failed. So that is why determination is the key word, as I mentioned. So unless you are having determination, that the good colleges are also fail. So that is the main important point here. And lastly, because this is a quality related workshop, I'm going to give this particular definition of what is quality. Quality is an ongoing process of building and sustaining relationships by assessing, anticipating, and fulfilling stated and implied needs. So building and sustaining relationships. So that means you are having a relationship with your society in the form of students, in the form of parents, in the form of other stakeholders. So you should have a strong relationship. You have to build the relationship and you have to sustain the relationship. When you are going to have this sustaining the relationship, unless you are going to assess the requirements, anticipate the requirements, or fulfilling the requirements, if you are not able to have you can build it, but sustaining is not possible. So that is why you have to continuously assess the requirements of the society and develop the mechanism and fulfill the needs so that you can develop the sustainable relation. So that is it is a continuous process. We have to do that particular activities on a continuous basis. So thank you, sir. Thank you very much for giving this particular opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, sir.
Sir,
Now, is there any queries from participants? You may raise your hand. Dear participants, if you have any queries, please ask. Our Rajendra Prasad sir is ready to clarify your doubts. Yes, sir. Now I request Dr. P.N.D. Mahesh, former principal of our assessment college, to give thanks to the art person, Rajendra Prasad sir.
So good afternoon, all the participants. So now again, we are requesting the participants to respond to the presentation of Dr. Rajendra Prasad Garu. Is there any participant to respond to the presentation of sir? Once again, I request. Yeah, then fine. So thank you very much, Dr. Babu Rajendra Prasad Garu, for presenting us with an enlightening presentation regarding the topic. And we are very thankful to you that you have taken almost 1.2 hours of time for your presentation, enlightening all the participants during this afternoon session. So I express my sincere thanks on behalf of SSN College and even on behalf of the organizers also that you have made this a lively session. And thank you very much on behalf of all the participants to you, sir. Thank you very much. Actually, we have expected Joint Director College Education, Dr. R. David Kumar Swami Garu for this session. And we have been informed by the CCE people that he is engaged with a busy meeting with the commissioner. So, because of this information, JD sir is unable to come online to present, his talk during this second session of this afternoon session. However, we requested him to come online tomorrow, probably tomorrow evening, tomorrow afternoon session. So I hope that Dr. B. R. David Kumar Swami Garu will be interacting with all the participants during the afternoon session tomorrow. And once again, we request all the participants to see that they are following the norms and rules and regulations of this what you call that, this faculty development program, because we are giving messages online and some of the participants are again asking their doubts, and their doubts have been clarified by the organizers. Once again, I request all the participants to kindly follow the norms which are laid by the organizers, so that there won't be any problem or any inconvenience will be caused to you. Because almost 489 people have got registered, and some of them have paid the registration fee, but some of them haven't paid their registration fees. And we find some of them have not got registered with their correct details, because some people have not given their email IDs properly. Last time, when we organized a webinar, an international webinar, by the departments of languages, we faced a problem that most of the people could not receive their certificates because they haven't provided us with the correct, email IDs. Actually, when they called us that, I have not got my certificate, that I have not received my certificate, when we checked over their details in the Google system, certificate is being released, but they did not receive their certificate. The reason is they have not provided their correct email ID for us. So once again, I inform all the participants to give the correct details while submitting their forms. At least, after all the 5 days, when we give you the feedback form at the end of the program, you please see that you fill the form with all your correct details before you submit the form, so that there won't be any gap in getting your certificate. So this is what I have to inform all the participants on behalf of the organizers. And once again, I just take this opportunity, to express my thanks to all the resource persons, with a special mention to Dr. Babu Rajendra Prasad Garu, who has provided a nice talk for all of us during this afternoon session. Now, I request the convener of this faculty development program to just interact with the participants, regarding some important issues that have to be, informed to all the participants. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Now I hand over this to the convener of this faculty development program, Dr. M.S. Sudhir Garu. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mahesh sir. A wonderful session from Dr. S. Babu Rajendra Prasad Garu. If you face any problem regarding the conduction of the program, please write your suggestions in the today's feedback link. And one more announcement, sir. All the participants, we are posting the feedback link both in chat box and also in our WhatsApp group. So try to fill the feedback link as early as possible, because we will close the feedback link by 8 p.m. today. So all are requested to fill the feedback link without fail. And the tomorrow session will start by 10:30 because there are tomorrow we have 4 sessions. Morning session led by Professor A. Leela Mohan Rao Garu, who is former Registrar Vignan University Guntur. And later on by 1 p.m, I repeat, by 1 p.m, Professor Kumar Suresh Garu from NIPA, New Delhi, he will take the class. And later, Dr. Manju Bharadwaja from N.College, University of Delhi, New Delhi. And then Dr. I.S. Chakrapani Garu, who is from Department of Zoology, PRR and VS Government Degree College, Vinukonda. And then finally, our Honorable GD Sir, Dr. R. David Kumar Garu. So tomorrow we have these 5 sessions. So try to join by 10:30 tomorrow morning, sir. And now we will share our feedback link both in chat box and also in WhatsApp group. Kindly fill them or fill it by today 8 p.m. Thank you, sir. Now I announce that today's program is closed, and we will meet tomorrow, that is the 4th day of FDP, by 10:30 sharp. Thank you. Thank you, one and all.